Good morning, everybody. Cheers. Lukewarm coffee. I got this about 45 minutes ago. I've been here for a while already. And it's not very hot, unfortunately. My computer seems like it's stuttering. The camera is... I wonder if that's actually happening in the recording or if it's just my desktop. I don't know. My Mac's doing some weird things. How is everybody? I hope you're all well. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got the halo behind me. I've got the lights on downstairs. I might go turn those off. They look a bit bright, don't they? Hold on one moment. I wondered why everything seemed so blown out. Still, hot on my head. I need to get some dimmers for these lights, I think. They're just too bright. Anyway, definitely too bright for 6:30 in the morning on a Wednesday. I hope you're all well. I'm feeling a bit discombobulated at the moment. I came in early to get my DSLogic working. Some of you might remember a while back on a stream, I can't remember what stream it was, I tried getting some capture working on my logic analyzer, and this little guy here, this little DreamSource Labs DSLogic, and I couldn't get it working. Well, I'm trying again because I would really like to be able to capture data I'm getting out of the FPGA, because trying to get LEDs lit up without having any actual output that you can look at is pointless. So I can't seem to get it working again, which is weird. Maybe I've got the latest version of the software which came out earlier this year. Anyway, let's start with saying hi to people in the chat. See if I can get myself into a rhythm. My video is still jumping. We got any frames? There's no frames being lost, but does it look jumpy on your side, the viewing side? Ping max. Ping max. Oh, you're just saying hello to Max. Okay. Let's, it looks fine. It's not stuttering at all. Okay, on my side in OBS, I'm doing the whole thing sometimes, and I don't know why. I probably should have rebooted my Mac before I started streaming today. Oh well. Serves me right. I'm not doing it now. Too late now. Okay, so let's say hi to some folks in chat. Mr. England, hello. Embedded Hobbyist, good morning. Andy Mouse, Squeak. Alan Madsen, hello, good morning. Yumbo Prime, hi. Joe42, Kevin Heldrich, Heldrich. I don't know. Kevin, hi. Sorry, mate. Destroyed your name. Graham, good morning. Beata, hello. Andy Day, hi. Ian Scott Johnson, hello. Good morning. I hope you're well. Johnny, cough, cough, beware, I have deadly man cold. Oh no, you poor person. It's the worst thing ever, man cold. Bruce, hi. AJ, hello. Hello, Photochromax. David Dessa, hi. Hello, Tom. And Brian Gregory, hello. It is stuttering, it's only very slightly. Okay, it's very noticeable for me. Justin C, hello. X-Micron, hi. Atomic 14. Hello, Chris. Okay, good. That's out of the way. So, after my stream last week, I did a couple of things. Firstly, I built some prototypes of my tiny bling. This is called a tiny bling. So it's a bling board, but it is designed to have a Tiny Pico, Tiny S2, Tiny S3 plugged into the back. So it comes with, or it will come with, headers that are already on there, surface mount headers. It's got some broken out I/O on the back. Let me have a look at this under the, let me move this out of the way. Let's have a look under the camera. I put my other lens back on, which is good. Oh, it's going to be out of focus. Yay. Okay. So it's got, we're on an angle. Camera's on an angle. Sorry about that. And we're upside down. Pretty much upside down. Okay, well, joys. That should be the right way up for you. Yeah, so it's got a place for a tiny board to go in. It's got stemma QT broken out for I2C, broken out headers, and still got the 4 buttons on the side. And it's got an LDO and switch over there. So you've still got power control where you can turn on and off the power to the display. But I also got, well, this is going to give things away. Oh well. This is my Bling Solo, which is a Bling board, but all it's got on the back is headers. Well, actually, no, it's got nothing. It's got 3 pads. Doesn't come. I've just soldered some female headers on, so I can plug some wires in. So I've also got my normal Bling board. Obviously, we've got all the components on the back. So 3 different Bling boards. The reason I'm showing you that is after the stream last week, I built the 2 prototypes of my Tiny Bling and my Solo Bling, so I could then have an RGB panel that I could connect to the FPGA. It doesn't like these wires. It'll flicker a bit because these are the these roundy ones, not the square thin ones. They're very thin wires and they're kind of loose in the PMOD connector. Anyway, so I've got some LEDs lit up, which is cool. That's using a modified version of the example code, the example bit stream that Peter from 1 Bit Squared has part of his thing. It's not designed to go off here. It's designed to go off this little ear. They call these an ear. And so there's supposed to be an RGB LED that you connect to here, and it expects there to be a transistor and everything inverted. Ooh, Joe42, thank you very much. Why did my audio not go? Oh no. Hold on, I need to fix my chat. Why is my chat not working? Oh, I'm so sorry. That should have done an audio thing, and it didn't. What did I do that's wrong? I'm sure I did something wrong. Let's try this again. There's no sound coming out.
Photochromax Sesuiwu Perkut.
Okay, well now it's working. I restarted it and it worked. Sorry about that, Joe42. Thank you very much for the super chat. I could probably just play it, but anyway. Just waiting for the duchies. The what? Oh, right. What? No, I don't get it. Anyway. So, see, now I'm completely off track. I want to, okay, we'll get onto all the bitstream stuff with this in a moment. But at least I've got a way that I can actually now display, I can feed out data. So I've just got 3.3 volts coming out on the orange, obviously ground on the black, and then I'm just using the first pin of that port, that PMOD port, for data. So we'll go into that in a second once I can find where I put my Visual Studio Code that had my code in it, which seems to have gone. Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. Yay. But before we get that working, or before we look at that, I need to work out why my DSLogic isn't going. Because if I can't get that going, I'm going to have to find a way of, I don't think it's going to reach to my scope and do it on my scope, which isn't going to be as intuitive or fun. Did I miss anything in chat? No, missed a few people though. Mutton, hello. Dutch Taurus, hello. Okay, and that's... No, and Amory, hello. You need a scope badly. What type of scope do you need badly? Okay, no, that was gonna be a bad joke. Okay, so DSLogic. I am all over the place this morning. I apologize. I'll get it together hopefully at some point. And where's my desktop gone? Now it stopped capturing my desktop. Yeah, there's something wrong with my OBS this morning. That mode's working. So let me go back to here. Yeah, don't worry about that. This is not good. Oh, come on, OBS. Just might be a moment, folks. Okay, I'm going to have to recreate this. Sorry, I'm just going to do this live on the stream because I don't really have a choice. So... almost there. Almost there. Okay. So, hey Dutch Maker. Can you restart OBS in 90 seconds? I don't know why. So, for some reason, so this is seeing my DSLogic. It's connected. It's found the DSLogic Plus, which is what it is, but I can't capture anything with it. And the green light is on it. I had a similar problem last time. If I unplug it, you can see that there's no device there. If I plug it back in, so it could be something to do with the Mac device drivers or something, but it connects to it, the green light comes on. Okay, now I've got a start option. Interesting. Okay, well now it captured something. I think it's on, I don't know if it's on single or repetitive mode. But it reset all my stuff. Okay, so I want to capture, I don't know, not too long. 10 milliseconds. Maybe 2 megahertz. So this should be all of the LED signals coming through. Okay, maybe that's working now. So before we do this, let's have a look at what code I'm doing. I'll just get it bigger so you can see that's not the code. Which one? Oh, okay, this. I started modifying this and then I stopped. So this got some stuff in it, but it isn't being used. So this is the code that It's code, I guess. You know what I mean? That Chinese. What? Okay, not for me. This is what 1-bit squared kind of provide. But it's not quite I've modified a bit of it, but basically it's going through, as you can see on here. You can do up to 64 of them. I'm telling it to just display 40 LEDs, the top row. It's 40 by 8 on my display. And I don't quite understand, again, what this is doing. I'm really struggling with the whole chunks of, why didn't that work?
Mishus 1 says halt and catch fire.
Wow, that was a massive delay. I don't know what's going on there. And what happened with my logo position? I might have to fix my logo positions everywhere, because I finally, this is like, you know, let's just get sidetracked again. So when I first moved in here and I set my logo up and the camera, I've had a cable, USB cable hanging from the ceiling going across to my desk this whole time. And last week, I had something bad happen during the week, and I cracked the shits, and I got myself into one of those modes where, what's very loud? Was it? Sorry. Where I started tidying and cleaning and whatever, and I got up in the roof and I ran the cable through the ceiling, and I 3D printed a clamp, and it actually looks really cool. I wish I could lift my camera and show you. It's all nice and neat now. There's no cable hanging, but because of that, it's in a slightly different position. So I had to go back and fix the position everywhere. Okay, but that's done. So there's that, hopefully. So what this is doing is cycling through a bunch of LEDs, and it's doing a slightly different color. It's a bit hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in so you can see there that there's, maybe it's a bit blown out, but each one's a slightly different color, and he's doing that by just dropping like a byte off each one, so it's slightly different. But this is streaming stuff out, and all it's doing is it's not actually treating each LED as its own LED with its own specific color. It's just cycling through, and yeah, so kind of not what I want, but it does work, right? And then I also found some other code on the internet. There's quite a bit on the internet, but it's extremely complicated, some of the examples, and I don't understand why it needs to be. It's like I found this one, which is using the guy says that he's new to FPGAs and he doesn't know if he wrote this well or not, but it's basically using a big ugly state machine. Well, I'm calling that ugly because to me this just looks like what I'd expect to see in, you know, in actual software. I would have thought there would have been nicer ways of doing state machines, but this is how he's doing the timing. And interestingly, he's got it to display some color, but I can't get the color to change properly. So if I go into, if I can find the window I used, go here. Need to make that bigger for you all. WS212B, no, internet. Yep, if I make this, oh, hang on, did I not change? WS2812B, internet. Why can't I make that? Weird. Have I got something wrong in the make file? I get the name wrong. WS2812B underscore internet. WS2812B underscore. I don't know why that's not working. What? Do want to blink make. Why is make not working? What if my computer restarted? Okay, well that's not a good start. That's working here. Did I forget something? Make all or make... If there's nothing in there, I shouldn't need to... Yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't need to do that. Proj equals... Hey Greg. And anyone else I've missed? Yeah, that's weird. But I also can't get this one working. Check runtime config. I can get other things to make. Like I just built this one. It's got a make file and it's got, unless it doesn't like the name. Hey Lucian. Not having fun right now because I can't get it to build again. Oh, I know why. I know why. I left off the .v. That'd be why. There we go. Because I just renamed it. That's why. So make prog. Okay, sorry about that. Now that's cool, they're coming up in green. But it doesn't matter what color I set that to. It's still coming up in green. So this is using the bit shifting method here, like what we do on a microcontroller, right? If like with, well, like an ESP32 with RMT or whatever, right? We'd be bit shifting the color based on the bits, and he's counting the bits based on this big state machine, which I guess that's one way of doing it, but that seems like not necessarily a nice way to do it. But if that's a color, then I would have thought that, go away, see on NeoPixel. So I've got different colors here. How's he doing it? He's got, yeah, register. So if I was to put this in here, this should be like he's doing. My tabs and spaces all wrong. I should be able to do color blue here. And I should be able to make prog. And they should be blue or a different color, but they're not. So the fact that they're all green is not because they're set to green, it's because the data signal is producing green, but the data signal is not correct. So that's why I wanted to get the DSLogic out and have a look. So if I capture that, whoop, that's a really long chain. Can I tell this to just do one LED? LED number. Okay, if LED number equals 1, put it back to 0. Okay, so let's remake this. This should just be one LED, hopefully. No. So they said there's something screwy going on with this. So that's the signal that's going out. And that looks like a G, because it's GRB. The green is up, right? Unless this, how do I clear this? Cut power LEDs are showing old data. Oh yeah, that's a good point. There's no reset button on this, which I find interesting. But I should be able to just pull the ground out. Probably should have pulled the power. Okay, there's our signal. That's a good point about the other one. Thanks, Johnny. Well, I can't even get them to do anything properly, so therefore I can't get them to clear anything right now. So how do I just get it to capture? I just want a really small amount. Start. I mean, it's 8 millisecond. Okay. Let's zoom in and analyze then. Okay, well, we're zooming in here now. Is that not very clear? How do I make... I don't think I can make these lines thicker. Display options. Look at the options. Yay, cancel. Okay, so it'd probably help if I had a data sheet up with timing, right? So we can look at this, but that's definitely green, G, right at the start. GRB, you can see the highs and then the lows. So, wait, which is possible if it's reading these backwards. So that would be... No, I told it to be green, didn't I? No, I told it to be blue. Let's tell it to be... If these are backwards, if it's... I don't know which way it's reading the bits. But that could be GRB. So this could be blue. Red. This could be Y. This whole time I could have had my colors back to front. So let's try this again. Okay, please turn blue. Okay. Nothing. So now we're not seeing anything there. And if I capture, I'm like, right, everything's low. But it's supposed to be doing this. So this is a 20, I'm assuming this is correct. Good, change, well, something changed, but it's not quite right. I don't know if they're GRB or not, but Johnny, but the fact is it should be doing something different. Well, in this case, it did nothing. So I'm assuming this is correct, like creating a 24-bit value, right? So there's just 3 lots of 8 bits there, or maybe not. Like, it's because I should just be shifting the bits across it. Right, I'm shifting this color blue based on the bit number. So maybe it's something to do with not having a 0 at the end or something, like it's not doing the final. So if I tell it to do red, maybe we'll see something in red, but I couldn't get this to produce any color other than green last time. Okay, so that's showing red. So maybe the thing is that it's showing red because it's getting a terminated. So as it's going along, it's getting this, the last down signal. Well, here it isn't. So if I was to, I don't know what color that'll produce, but if I was to tell it to go down at the end for the blue, I'm just curious to see. Does C++ style syntax work for digit grouping? I have no idea. See, that's still red. Wait, I didn't flash it. Distracted. Okay, so still nothing. So green was working, red was working, blue is not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I missing a number? Okay, maybe I was missing. No, still no blue. Hey, Shaq. We have to say sorry for joining the stream at 2 AM. You should go to bed. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. So what are we seeing? What are we getting? See, we're getting nothing. So I would say that we're not going through the whole number. Like, we should be seeing some highs, but there are no highs here. Low, 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 low. I guess we're not getting that last one because I set it to a... So it looks to me like... And again, this is not my code, right? So what I started doing, I tried getting... So they're going to be the wrong way around, but I tried getting this process working. So I did all this. This was me. Obviously, don't know what I'm doing. Tried getting this to work with Peter's example, but I couldn't get it to bit shift. I want to use an FPGA for something too, Dave Paul Jones, but I can't even think of a need for it that I just can't do with a microcontroller for the stuff I'm doing. No worries, Shaq. Have a good sleep. You can catch it on a replay. So I was trying to work out how to get this going, right? So I modified this clock edge stuff. So his was like, he's just either pumping out a 1, pumping out a 0, or pumping out if it's supposed to be on or off, right? And he's just cycling those bits and bytes, and I'm not quite sure. Again, he's not using a color. He's just doing byte is on, off, on, off, or whatever, like cycling whatever to get the different colors. He's not actually saying, like, he's just making one continuous stream. He's not saying this is an LED and this is the color format for that LED. He's just going up, down, like he's just using the timing to make different colors looping. Does that make sense? One tip, Reg, for color is declared as 11 bits. Or am I missing something? No, you're probably not missing something. Oh, that's a good point. That would need to be, wait, be 23, wouldn't it? Is it inclusive or not? Yeah. Thanks, Lucien. That's a good point. Maybe that's why it's truncating it. Except I just did that in the wrong one. Hang on. So I don't know why his is only set to 10. His test color. Maybe he just cared about that bit there. Okay. So let's try this. You gotta remember, I don't know what I'm doing. And we got blue. Holy moly. And now we're seeing blue. Here we go. You're a legend, Lucian. Thanks. Can you use hex in here? I don't know. I'm still trying to work out how I'd even do a bunch of memory. Stream over. Done. Right. So, but this is using that state machine. Okay, so then I should be able to do this. So LED number if it equals 3. See, this is ugly. Okay. So I'm just thinking out loud. If I want to have a can I go current bit reg 10 current bit and then can I go if LED num equals 0 current bit equals I want it to be blue, else if LED num equals 1. See, like, can you do array, like how would you do an array of colors or something in here? I don't know. Red, else green, and then I just say if current bit like, would that let me cycle colors? Hey Bert, where'd you buy your board? FPGA boards out of stock everywhere. I look. This is from 1 Bit Squared. This is their ICEBreaker board that I'm currently using. Although I've also got one of their itsy bitsy toke else. What do I do? Oh, right. Semicolons. Wow. Do you begin and after? No, you only need the begin and the end if it's a block of things. It's like the brackets. So, if like in C, if it's a single line in the if, then you don't need the brackets, although you can put them. So, like technically, this line here, they don't need it. That doesn't need it. A begin and an end. That's my understanding anyway. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Now, so this should give me 3 LEDs, one of each color. And it gave me only the third LED is lit. So the third LED is green. Wait. Reg 23:0 colors 2:0 will define an array of 3 locations for 24 bits. Oh, will it now? How would I then reference that array? And why is this? So 0, 1, and 2. So that's just blue, red, and green. See, this is, I find this quite hard to read. Begin. If else. And then there's this one here. Stat equals 4, if stat equals 5, if stat equals 6. So color 0 is the first location, 20 bits. Oh, okay. I'm assuming you want to see your bits grouped, and for that you can use. Johnny just passed 20 million view minutes. 20 million view minutes. That's a. Wouldn't it be hours? So why is this not? Okay, so if I go back here, so if I do a reg, so if I go, what was it? Then I say colors, because that'll make things, I can get rid of that if statement, I think. So if I go colors to 0, so that's an array of colors, right? And then, so I can then go assign colors 0 equals, I do an assign still, I assume. Colors 1 and colors 2, right? So they're my colors, and then I should be able to get rid of all of this and go colors LED num. I think. See, this is all back to like this feels like a software problem to me. The way I'm coding it, the way I'm thinking of it. And that's 20 million view minutes is like 39 years. Incomprehensible. Okay, let's see if we've got 3 LEDs going now. Or still the one. Oh, we've got 3 LEDs! And each one is lit. It didn't like my if statement. So I've got a blue, a red, and a green. Oh my gosh, we're making progress. Yeah, I know you can comment out multiple lines like that. Yep. Yep. It's similar. I didn't write this, but similar, yeah, to C syntax. Okay, so we don't need this one now. Yeah, no, it's a bit hard to see. They're too close together. I wonder if I can... I don't know if I can adjust the... Is that a bit better? You can kind of see it now. There's a red, there's a blue, a red, and a green. No play button. A play button? You need more than 45k subscribers. Isn't like 150 now or something you need? Do I have my diffuser handy? I actually think I do. I should have just done that. I just don't know how well it's gonna. How's that? Yeah, it's not that great. Bring it back up. Whoa, now it's reflecting. How's that? Is that... yeah, it's kind of like an interesting effect. Okay, so... I don't know why he did this. Like, that was his code, so maybe he just was trying to get the green bit, but then I don't know. Anyway, okay, so... The thing is, this state machine, there's got to be an easier way. So I wanted to see if I can get a similar thing happening. If I just do this using, so this is kind of, so this doesn't work at the moment. But this is a version of Peter's Blink that I'm trying to modify to get working. So what I want to see is what is actually coming out. Because, like, he's using a case statement, kind of like a little statey machine thing. And so if I tell it I want 3 LEDs, and I want it to be colors. But see, he's not counting the LEDs, that's the thing. So he's not tracking an actual LED, that's the problem. So and he's just using a register. I'm just going to copy that in. I don't know how many LEDs that's how many LEDs the 7 bits going to give me. LED num equals LED num plus 1. Again, I don't know what I'm doing here. Equals 3 LED num equals 0, because I'm treating this like a software problem. 8 bits, 256 LEDs. Of course. Of course. And I'm doing this because I want the LED num. So let's see what this is doing. Probably nothing. So this should be doing the same thing. What I should do is get rid of the, or actually make, can't spell. Right, so this is showing nothing. And this is what I was up to the other day, and so I thought, okay, I better let's have a look at what's going on here. So that looks like enough data for 3, but I'm not seeing any high. So clearly none of this, like my logic. So it should be setting the WS bit based on my current color, bit shifting the LED bits. But I don't know if so again, I don't understand his counter. So he's got a counter that's, why is his counter's 5 bits long. Plus log delay minus 1. So 21, so that's 26. So I don't understand all of this. So I'm just reading the chat, if there's anything I missed. So I want a version of something like this where I don't have to do a state machine to count it. But then I'm not going to get the period right. But this period looks right. Maybe. But I'm not seeing any highs, which means for some reason it's never getting byte number is less than. What's if I just set it to WS bit? One more tip, which is kind of intriguing me. There's a difference between that and equals. It's a blocking versus non-blocking assignment. I'm using only equals for now, as it treated like a sequence. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is either. Why that the less than or equal to is being used. Wait, did I do a make first? Doesn't matter. So that's not doing anything either. Or maybe that needed to be a this. Eyes look like lows, but the other way around. That's funny. What do I do? Expected op less than or equal. Unexpected. Right, so it doesn't like... Can't type. See, still nothing. Start. Yeah, I'm still getting the same. Well, that's doing lots of streaming now. Right, so that's gonna... Right, that's writing data now for 64 of them or something. That's what that byte number thing was. So we do need this just to get it to write the first three things. But I'm not getting it to display to write out anything. It looks like less than equal. No, it was an equals, I think. Either way, this doesn't seem to be working. It's like it's always landing on this default. So maybe I've wrecked the counter somehow. Counter equals counter plus 1. Hey Wagon Loads, thumbnail, but didn't realize it was unexpected until I got here. What? Oh, okay. The logo didn't give it away? Or the channel name? I mean, I could always, I guess, I could output into the DSLogic the LED bit I'm currently on and the LED number I'm currently on. Counter incremented indefinitely. Yeah, it's looks like it. It's got 26 bits or something. Is the timing right? Well, so his example, using his timing, if I go back to here, this is his timing. This is the same thing that he's doing, right? But he's making sure that if on bit and on byte, because that's how he's cycling, whether it's what color it is, that on byte thing. But this works. So 2182 blink. So if I go WS blink, I go make prog. So this is his one where it's cycling colors, the first 40, right? And he's getting it to cycle because he's telling it to alternate every X many bytes, don't go high. Oh, I don't know if we're capturing enough data. to do this. Might not be capturing enough because it's doing this loop where he's only doing it for the first 40, but there can be up to 64. I might be grabbing a wrong chunk of it. I don't know. I capture on the first. So I can't see any highs. So I'm capturing the wrong spot. Maybe I need to do longer. Turn the trigger off. I wish there was a way of seeing this easier. I don't know. You should use equals in if. Hello, secret engineer. Well, his code works, like whether it's an equals or whether it's whatever. Like if I just do that, right? And rebuild. No, it's a DSLogic Plus from Dream Source. What are they called? Dream Source Lab. So it's one of these. It's a DSLogic Plus here. So, I mean, the same thing, like LEDs are working. I did flash it, didn't I? Yeah, I did, right? So whether it's an equals or it's a less than equals, I'm getting the same result. But if I do it from, so if it's a 0, if the case is 0, it writes a 1. If it's a 1 on the clock counter, it says, if I'm supposed to be on and it's a byte that's supposed to be on, do a 1, otherwise 0. That's how he's doing the color cycle, and then otherwise it's a 0, right? And then he's writing it out. So this is no different to what I'm doing, right? If it's 0, write a 1. If it's a 1, work out what to display, and if it's default, write a 0. And I'm just doing it for 3 LEDs. I mean, I could do it for more, but it really shouldn't make any difference. But for some reason, I'm not getting anything out. Are there any scopes like that that let you use a tablet as a wireless screen? Tablet as a wireless screen? No idea, mate. Sorry. Maybe someone else knows. Right, I need to get rid of the data that's there. Okay, so there's nothing there. So I don't seem to be getting any. I'm just getting all lows and nothing on the display. So maybe something to do with the way I'm shifting the bits. See, LED bits. Oh, hang on. Shouldn't that be 24? Because it's 24 bits I'm shifting. 23. I did it 8 because I'm used to doing it per color, but I'm not doing it per color. I'm doing the whole color. This is what this issue we had before as well. So maybe that's why. This is learning FPGAs the hard way. Yeah, that didn't do anything. Oh, hang on. that wouldn't have, because I'm saying if LED bits equals 24, this is not how you learn how to use FPGAs, folks. Not on my channel, anyway. Okay, still nothing. Although we've got something funky looking at the start here, timing wise. Okay. If this is the hard way, just see how. Oh, I don't want to look at VHDL. If that's the case. Unless these begin ends aren't working. So that's right. So if my color shifted the bit of my color, and if the LED bits, I want to increase the LED bit that I'm shifting, and if the LED bits equals 24, put it back to 0 and increase my LED number. If my LED number is 3, put LED back to 0. And maybe I want to get rid of this byte number. I still don't understand here. What that would be doing in that case. Is this fun for everyone watching me do this? I don't know, it's not fun for me. At least we got some color out of the other one. Yeah, WS2812 or 2812Bs or whatever. Yeah, this is just going to keep going forever. It is for you too. What, frustrating for you? See, I've forgotten my question already. I'm trying to drive RGB LEDs out of an FPGA, right? So rather than using software and bit banging, I'm trying to do it via hardware. And there are examples all over the internet, Verilog examples for driving it, and they're all what look to be insanely complicated. And and none of them are designed to actually say, here is a chunk of color data, display this, whether it's however it's done, sequential or whatever else, on an RGB display, right? LED display. So, you know, they're all set up just as examples of how to do some different colors, which isn't really what I want. Ultimately, I want to be able to somehow get some data in for a frame of imagery, like my logo, you can see, Pac-Man, right? And have the FPGA push that data out to an RGB matrix, like what I've got hooked up right now. So, get the light off that somehow. Okay. So that's ultimately what I just want to see as a challenge, right? I'm learning FPGA. Bad way to be learning it, I guess. It's not, we're not up to that bit though, right? The issue right now is, so I've got two different methods here of getting data onto the LED array. And so one is via a pretty convoluted state machine, right? And the other is this streaming example that 1-bit-squared have, where they're not treating it like a state machine. They were just streaming a whole bunch of stuff out with kind of the correct timing, right? I put a single bit high one, right? Using a counter gives us a time slot frequency. But for some reason, I can't get it to display anything if I'm passing my own color in. Like if I just did this, WS bit equals 1B1, right? If I just tell it to be a high, will that just give me white for those three? It does, right? So it's getting into that code thing, and it's giving me 3 white ones. So it's something to do with this. So this should be giving me all high. Hang on. Go back to small capture. Hello, where's my capture gone? See, they're all high now. Well, actually, are they? Wouldn't it be high, high, high? Yeah, no, that's not how FPGAs work. Like, or if I understand what you're writing there, wagon loads. I would use SRAM for the data of the matrix, make the FPGA read the data from the SRAM and update the display all the time. Sure. Right now it's the updating the display thing and how I'm doing, like, I'm trying to get it to do it without needing to go through that state machine is what I'm trying. And I don't get how this streaming stuff works when it's... I'm trying to get... I want to get the streaming version of it working so I don't have to have the state machine. So if I sell it to just be just ones, why am I getting a... if I tell it to just do one of them. Hey, James. It should just be one LED. Okay, one LED and... Whenever you're ready. There's my capture. Okay. So I'm getting a high... So this doesn't look right. Getting a high at 500 nanoseconds, 500, and a low. Yeah, this is not a programming challenge, this is a hardware challenge. If you're using a logical and in the web sum, then it should be and. What? Why would it be and? Why would it be and? But I just thought of something. Bits. LED bits needs to be stateful. What do you mean by... I don't know what stateful means in this case. Remember, treat me like I have no idea what I'm doing, because I have no idea what I'm doing. No, this is not a true or false. This, well, no, this is a... It's an AND. It's an AND gate. Like it's shifting. But I'm trying to grab the bit, the specific bit of the 24 bits of this color. It's not a logic. Yeah. Anyway, I've never seen AND used anywhere in Verilog, so I'm not sure. I keep looking at that light and I'm hurting my eyes. Looks like you were assigning logic rather than sequential stateful. I don't see your engineer. Like I don't know anything. I don't know enough to disagree with you, but that's not how I got it working before. So like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Look, I'm shifting and colors, single and it works here. So I think the issue here is the timing isn't right. This is like a hack for timing. I don't know. Yeah. But, okay, so why is this? It's on a single pin, just like it's a data pin, just like it would be on a microcontroller. So it's got to be something to do with the way I'm counting the bits. Folknology, I don't understand what the difference is between sequential and stateful, what stateful means or whatever. Like this is, I'm doing a, not sure how the bit number works. Maybe I can just use... Yeah. Right. That was... Okay, we weren't sure what all that was before. So what's the difference between less than equals or just equals? because this is all using this is all working, and this is just using equals, not like LED arm and bits. They're just using equals. So I'm not sure what the difference is, except we were doing this before, but both seem to work in this other example. Well, it's working with white, right? No, that doesn't shift bits. This shift bits. I still don't know the difference between running make and then make prog, or just doing make prog. It seems to just build it and then flash it. So see, that's displaying nothing, and I'm getting nothing out. So if I tell it to just be a 1, it works. So something in here isn't working. The LED, the counting of the LED bit. Call statements that are looking like this are executed in parallel, while the ones using that are executed in sequence. One waiting for the previous one. Dependency on the binary that will build it. Set a date, but it really depends on the setup of them. Right. Yeah, if I just call make prog, it seems to rebuild it if I need to. Okay, I still don't... Now, the highs were more than 800 nanoseconds, it looked like. So if I do this, if I just do make prog, see, it rebuilds it, and then it flashes it. So it seems to work. So this should give me the one white LED again, right? But if I look at it, it doesn't quite look right. Just like 1 microsecond instead of 800 nanoseconds. It's a bit long, and these are 500 and 501, so it's not quite right. So this is looking for a bit period of approximately 1.3 and 0.3. The WLED, the LEDs are a bit forgiving, right? And again, his example, which does exactly the same thing, works. So I don't know what a Petri chart is. Hello, Franco. So I'm not convinced it's a timing issue. Yeah, the time is close enough because it's working, right? I mean, it's not great, but it's working. I could do this. I could go LED bits is less than 8. Is 0. Like if I did that, that should only give me the first 8 bits, I believe. So it'll be for the ones. Or it's giving me, oops, nothing. Let's pull both cables. Damn it. Okay, I'm still getting white here. So that should only be giving me a... I'm still getting white. It's greater than 8, give me a 1. I think the white I'm getting is a fluke. Yeah, it needs a reset. I think that's what you're meaning. So I'm still getting a... Okay, so I think the white I'm getting is because this isn't working, not because it's supposed to be white. Like, I think that white is wrong. I think this is just corrupt data, and I just seem to be getting... Oh, but I don't understand how this counter works at all. It's saying, give me a 1 if I'm at 0. Like, this counter is designed to do... Do you know what? I'm just going to do this. I just want to see what happens. I think my issue here is that this case statement is designed to give that cycling colors, not to actually give out color. Let me just put this back. I think I'm misunderstanding what that case statement does. Right, that's displaying nothing now. If I capture, I'm getting nothing. Okay. Right, it is only looking at a piece of the counter. Case statement uses 3 clock cycles to map the 1 bit. Yeah, so this isn't ever going to work because yeah, that's hacked to get the pattern. Cycle of the iteration of the states. Of what states? I don't... Like, I think the issue here is I'm trying to get this to display color where it won't, because this whole setup is designed to make color by specifically only firing things on this counter sequence, which gives the timing. I think that's the problem. That's why that doesn't use a state machine. Does that make sense? I think that the issue... This has no concept of an LED or a color or a size of a color. It is just based on the counter cycling a ones and zeros to a rough timing. Yeah? I think that's never going to work for me. So the question is, how do I turn a state machine like this into something that's nicer? Because this is working. All right, for those that joined late, this is a modified version of what I found on the internet. But this will display 3 colors here. Oops. So there's a red, green, sorry, blue, green, and red. Wagon loads? No, because it's a timing thing. It's not just data going out. The data has to be written with a certain timing. It's a timing issue, not a data issue. The data bit's easy. Getting the data to fire at the correct periods is the problem. So it's not serial. Like if it was an APA 102 or something, then I'd have a clock, right? So then I could have my data and the clock would get the timing right as long as my clock cycle was right. So what the question is, why can't, like, using a clock, my understanding with the FPGA is like you've got a, whatever the clock is, which I believe it's 12 megahertz. I don't know. Why can't, 12 megahertz clock edge, right? That's default clock speed. Can't you tell the FPGA that you want a clock that's a certain division of that? You're thinking it from a software point of view, Wagon Loads. I get that because my head is in software land as well, but that's not how FPGAs work. They're using assignment because they are within clock steps. Use a D flip. Lucian, so the first time I really did anything with FPGA was last week. And I didn't do much. So, yeah. Like, you could have just spoken in a foreign language or a language that someone speaks on Saturn. That is what that function was looking at. Clock 3.2. What do you mean, Toby? Sorry. You were saying that this was looking at 3.2 because that's the part of the clock. Getting a fraction of the... Yeah, but okay, but I can't compute in my head how that works as a clock divider. Like, if I need a signal to be... Excuse my ignorance. If I need a signal to be a certain... Like, if I need 800 kilohertz, right? And I need to fit a 24-bit color section of slightly different length pulses in an 800 kilohertz, why can't I get a roughly 800 kilohertz clock edge? Okay, maybe I'm just not understanding what I'm getting from the clock. I would assume that from the clock I'm getting a pulse at 1200 megahertz frequency, right? And so what you're saying is by looking at those bits, that's giving me the clock edge at a lower frequency. But I don't understand how that works. Like, that's just... right? Like, why isn't there a way just to say I want a positive clock at a certain frequency, or clock divided by 10, right? Which would give me 1.2 megahertz, or you know what I mean? Or I'm just throwing out there, right? But like, you know what I mean? Like, isn't there an easier way to get a clock? So it says, process the state machine states 0 to 3 are the 4 WS212 ticks, each consisting of 83 times 4, which is 333 nanoseconds, which is the 400 nanoseconds. 4 of those ticks are then that, which is a long one, and we can get close to the ideal period. 1 is 3 high periods followed by a low period, and 0 is a 1 high period followed by 3 low periods. Right. But if we were already at a clock edge that was timed for a thing, we wouldn't need to be counting 0, 1, 2, 3, you know, 0, 1, 2, 3, the 4 bits for the high, and then the 4 bits for the low, and then the 16 of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like very logging on YouTube. What? The Apple clock divided. If you use a high frequency clock, you can divide your state into counts of those base ticks. Right, but why can't, if all of these base ticks are set from 4, so they're saying 4 of them is approximately 333, and then 4 of those, so 16 of those, 16 of this would be that, why can't I just start with divided by 4, so 1 is 33333, and 4 is whatever? Like, why do I have to... That's what I'm asking. Like, wouldn't that be simpler? Catch you later, Dave. I don't blame you. Like you wouldn't have to do this whole, I've counted to, like, these ones here, and then I'm at 4, do this. Like, this whole step here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in my mind, half the state machine would disappear. Or half the if statements would disappear. There's a parallel inside the FPGA, but you need the configuration files out of my reach now. Yeah, I don't. Anyway, I'm just... This is interesting. So NPXC equals NPXC plus 1. If it equals 0, increase the state. So does that mean it wraps? So if that's at 0, and then you increase it, it goes to 1. If you increase it, if it then goes to 2, does that wrap back to 0 because it's only... for a clear review, you can replace the ifs with case. Sure. All good, folknology. All good. So does a register wrap? So this is 2 bits, right? So 0 to 4. 0, 1, 2, and 3. When that gets to 4, yeah, it'll so if it overflows, will it go back to 0? Yes, for obvious reasons. Thanks, Lucian. Right, so this whole I'm doing here wouldn't need this, right? Not that it matters, but if because that would never get to 24. Because it would wrap, right? So I don't need that. This will just do it anyway. And if it equals 0, increase the LED number. And I don't need to do that either. So that's interesting. They never would have necessarily worked properly. You know what I mean? I didn't realize they would wrap. And I don't need to do that. Which means I don't need that. And I don't need that. So that should say, so if my LED, if that gets to, that'll wrap back to 0. And if it's at 0, increase the LED number, and that'll also wrap itself. I don't think it's going to make much difference. Or any difference. Because it's not software. Look at that. It works now. No, wait. No. Sorry, I lied. That's the old code. Is that the old code? Yeah, that's the old code. Ha! I got excited. That would have been... Ooh! No. You're still thinking from a software point of view. Ooh. Why is that not... Did I disconnect it? No? Well, that's not doing anything now, that bit of code. I'm not actually getting any... Right. I still, it's pointless doing it. I think this isn't going to work. Yeah. Yep. Did that. Still not doing anything though. It's still all lows. Well, except that high there. This is still not doing anything. Thanks, folks, for answering that. Okay, well. So is there a nicer way of doing a state machine than like this? Like, is there a... Yes, okay. And like, I know this is like pedantic, right? But shouldn't that be that? If it less than 4, right? If it's less than 4, if it equals 4, if it equals 5, if it equals 6. So that's a, if it's supposed to be a high or it's supposed to be a low. You can name constants states. Name constant states. Can you give me like example of what that syntax would be? Ooh. Okay. Peter can't join the stream today. He was just posted. Let me know before. Case is better than if the state machine of them. Oh, you're saying that if it equals, right, you could change, so like an enum. Is that what you meant? Come in different logical flavors. Right, okay. I mean, this can all be cleaned up a bit by, this is just optimization, code optimization, which may make it oh, 0, 1, and 2. Oh, but not 5. What would happen if it's 5? I'm curious to see what happens here. I'm just seeing if this is going to butcher the optimization. Can you remember Mealy and Moore from college? Who was that to? What? Okay. Internet. Make prog. Oh, didn't like that. 92. What? Oh. Yeah. Mealy and Moore are the state machines. That I don't remember. Okay, so I've got 3 colors working. That's not in focus. Why can't I? Oh, right. There we go. So, common state machine. Okay. If I can get this into a state that isn't this long, maybe I mean, maybe this is bad coding practice. Don't know. Bits equals 24, bits equals 0. So this shouldn't be needed. That should be if bits equals 0. Shouldn't it? The same thing, it should be wrapping. And If the LED number equals 0, then the state should go up. Hey, Pro Engineer. Remember how many values you can fit in bits. Your 24 isn't a factor of 2. There's B1100. Okay, not quite sure what that means. I'm just optimizing someone else's code. Well, that's half the length of code. Jury's out whether it's easier or not to read. And that didn't work. So what I've done by changing that is changing the position where the state changes. But that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I took out where it's set, the 24 where it's set to 1, because that should never get to 24. It should wrap, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it be 0 to 23? Eight bits. Huh? Right, yeah, that's a good point. That will, the reps at 255, which is why it's going all over the place. Yes, okay, yep. So I went too far. Okay. I went too far. I think right now I'm just spinning my wheels, right? Because this isn't really how I wanted it to work. Because this is still... One note of advice, if your ifs doesn't have only one instruction in its body, then you do not need the begin end. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's what I was getting rid of them. So I'm leaving these ones because they've got multiple lines. It's like the curly brackets. Okay, so wait, why didn't that? Okay, I gotta read. So I need to clear. How would I do? Okay. So I need to start looking at making some modules where, like, I'd have a module that is to clear, but I wouldn't want to replicate all of this stuff. You'd have modules in modules, right? They don't have to be outside. So in module top, could I have another module where where I could go through but they would have to duplicate all that, right? So I'm thinking like programming again, where I'd have a function that clears the display before it updates. But the process to clear it is the same as the process to write pixels to it. But I'm just writing zeros. So I need to get, like my brain isn't thinking about this correctly. I mean, I could do something like how would I use a single bool, like a single boolean? Can I just go clear equals B1? I could just do that, right? And I can say on the first pass, I can say if clear begin if clear, then I'm gonna go, I could probably optimize this. Just don't worry about how that looks. Just for now. I'm just trying to get my mind around this. Begin end. Check my link when you have a little more time. It spells it out in a bit more. Which link? Did I miss a link? Technology, where did you post a link? And I want to say, I know that's ugly. That's okay. I just want to, so the very first time it finishes the LEDs, clear is going to equal 0. And I assume that's the same as doing 1B0, right? Okay, Verilog, read the docs. Okay, cool. Thanks for technology. Catch you later. Clear and explicitly declared as default no type is. Oh, no, can't I do that? Right. So it's got to be a register. How do I do just a bool? Left the old condition below for clear. What? The old condition. No. I just want it to write out nothing, that's all. 79 is the same as 81. No, it's not. They're both just doing a 0 for now. It's not the same. I just, because I don't want to put it there, I want to put it somewhere else. But for now, I just want to make sure it works. So, they're not the same. One's only ever producing zeros. And one does a 1 or a 0. How do I... do I have to use a register? If I just want to make a simple bool, how does that work? No, because that's what that 1, 0 is for here. Should be, anyway. How do I do a bool? Or do I just have to do a, do I have to set up a register? Like that. Okay, that didn't seem to work. Okay, I think I've, 2 hours, I think I've overdone it. I've just made a mess of everything. You might be right, Toby. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I should do? It's pretty stupid. I should actually have a black. And do it that way. So I should just be doing this. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 4. Okay. All that is wrong. It's all... Yeah, that whole way I was looking at doing that was wrong. You're right that I was making a wrong sequence. In brackets, if clear, begin. This is the last thing I'm going to do. Else, begin, end. That should just be doing color black. That's one way of doing it. So if I'm in clear mode, it should be writing the black. No. What did I miss? Oh. Can I just, would that default be set to 0? Like, do I have to do an assign? That should all be 0, shouldn't it, by default? If I create a register. Anyway. Oops. Okay, so that is not resetting itself. So the clear is working, but it's not getting out of clear. Okay, this is, I don't know if anyone's still watching. No, the numbers dropped big time. That's okay. Yeah, I'm lost too, don't worry. I just wanted to get it to clear the data before it displayed anything, and that isn't working, you see? So I've broken something. Again. Do I have to write that? Can't I just, that's what I was asking, how do I do a bool? I don't know how to do a bool. It's good to know that it's cycling the color. Okay, so that's back to working. So but that's not working. So it's not setting clear to 0. Like this here. When it increases the LED number, so if clear equals 1, do that, otherwise use that. So I think I'm giving up. I think I'm giving up for the day. Yeah. FPGAs! Cold coffee! Okay. Well, thanks all that helped on that. I'll start with something simpler, learning, but I don't know what. Like, I can't think of a project to use an FPGA for that isn't just dummy stuff to learn from, you know what I mean? FPGA, your Pac-Man logo. Well, that would be the whole point, was to drive a logo or whatever from an FPGA, but I can't even get it to reliably do anything right now. When I get lost, it helps if I create a load of structs and then reference them instead of meaningless numbers, then use the switch statement to test against the actual struct like enum. Yeah, but that doesn't work in Verilog. That's the problem. I don't believe there's such a concept as a struct in Verilog. Like if this was a software problem, well, I've already solved stuff like this in software many times, so yeah. I don't know what I've broken now. I don't understand why this clear thing doesn't work. Unless, hang on. You know, begin, end. Although that end's a funny color. Have I lost a begin and an end somewhere? See these, they're color coded. Oh, you can't see, hang on. So these are color coded, blue and yellow inside. Blue and blue, yellow inside. Blue and blue, blue and blue, blue and that shouldn't, wait. Oh, maybe that's the, right, for that begin, end. Right, okay. Begin, end. Yeah, you don't understand the difference. Verilog is describing hardware, logic gates, registers, flip-flops, not software. It's two totally different things, and that's the problem. I'm very much ingrained in the software side of things, and so thinking about things, just because the tricky thing is you look at this and it looks like code, it looks like software, but it's not. It's a descriptive language. You're describing hardware and states and logic. You're describing it, you're not actually programming it. You can't use brackets. It's begin and end. It's not C++. That's the thing. And it's just too easy for my brain to be in software mode. So, yeah. Okay. I am going to call it there. Thank you all. There's no such thing as a Go sub in hardware. What do you mean? Like it'd be, yeah. Sorry, not for me to explain how Verilog works or how FPGAs work or whatever. Like you need to just, it's totally different. There's stacks of videos out there about it all. Folks, I'm going to go de-FPGA my brain. I'm going to go fire up the pick and place line and build some Reflow Master Pros. One of my least favorite things to do on the production line. They're quite a complex, not complex, time-consuming process to make each one of these. And I am currently looking at simplifying the design of these to make them be easier to assemble. Quicker to assemble, less manual work, and hopefully then potentially a cheaper selling price. But I'm not quite ready to share that yet. In the meantime, I have to keep making them as they are, and so I need to go and do that. Something like go to flip-flop. No. You can't go to flip-flop. To get to that flip-flop, it needs to go through the logic to get there. So that has to be built from logic, not, yep, no. So the answer is no, because it's not software. Right? Like you're following a signal through gates. You can't make the electron jump from that gate to that gate. Got to get there through a path. Looks like I go to check. Oh, right, okay. Does thinking about drawing a circuit help? In this case, no, because I don't understand how this would all be happening in logic. Like, well, state machine is very much a coding thing, not a circuit thing. Like, the representation of a state machine visually, to me, like in that code, is not a logic thing. Like, writing that as a circuit. I mean, you could write it as a diagram, but it wouldn't be a circuit. It would just be a flowchart, right? That's what a state machine is. Verilog hand just... Hey, Illuminator. Yeah, this is Verilog sign language. Verilog sign... No. So, And to be honest, like I'm not really, I don't know how I'll draw that as a circuit. This whole thing, this as a problem as a circuit. And in my head, it's 100% a software thing. It's 100% a bit banging thing, right? First did state machines and hardware at college. Software was later. Oh no, absolutely, you can do state machines in hardware. But I'm talking about what that state machine was. That was very much a bunch of variables, right, that you were incrementing to change the state. Like that was exactly how you do it in software, whether it's a bunch of ifs or a case statement, right? I totally get you can do state machines in hardware, but that visualization of it in code, to me, doesn't match a hardware state machine at all. It matches a code state machine. Maybe I'm not explaining myself properly. As I said, I'm completely ingrained in software. I'm really struggling to look at anything here and not be reading it or figuring it out in my head as I'm going in a software mode. I think that's part of my problem. Like, yeah. Anyway, thank you all. Have a great week. I'll catch you all next week, or earlier. Wow, that was weird. Yeah. Don't know what I meant by that. Maybe I do. Okay, anyway, bye. Take care.